Oh my god, hey, I'm a little... excuse me. Back it up. Welcome back to my kingdom of stagey isolation. If you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Mickey Joe and I am obsessed with all things theatre. I am back today, still talking about The Prom on Netflix. I'm making another video about this because it's a huge deal every time another movie musical gets made. It means that a musical that has a very small cult following, especially one like The Prom, is getting catapulted for a more mainstream audience. It's a very big deal. It's great for the art form, it's great for everyone involved. Also, I just wanted to make another prom video because I have many of these jackets and I don't have many opportunities to wear them. We are in lockdown. When else can I wear this? Am I wearing tuxedo trousers though? You will never know. So today I've got myself all dressed up to tell you what I thought of The Prom on Netflix. This is going to be my full review. I'm going to let you know what I liked about it and what I hated about it. I just watched The Prom on Netflix and here's my full review. So because this was coming out, I went back and I listened to more of The Prom. I'd listened to it a bit before, but I'd never really delved into it. And I've enjoyed finding out more about the show and really getting hooked on the cast recording. I've liked that it's given me the chance to do that. I'm hoping other people, when they see this adaptation on Netflix, will go and learn more about The Prom and listen to the original Broadway cast recording. Overall, I like it as a movie musical adaptation. I think it's fun. I think it's cute. I think the score is presented very well. Musically, I like the way that it sounds. I actually have issues with it cinematography-wise, and I never normally have issues cinematography-wise. I didn't study film or anything, so I don't normally pick up on these sorts of things, but I found it very frenetic. There were lots of zooms on random things. There was a big focus on the choreography. I feel like every number had some sort of outlandish piece of choreography, and it was always like, here's a close-up on a foot, and a knee, and an elbow, and a shoulder, and I was just like, give me a wide shot, for the love of goodness. I blame Les Mis for the culture of extreme close-ups in musical theatre. I just want to be able to see everything that's going on. I want to see the whole thing. If you show me a close-up of Nicole Kidman's foot, I'm going to assume it's because her leg is not properly extended. But I found it difficult to engage with the full musical numbers when it kept giving us these close-up shots, with a few exceptions. There were some numbers that I liked. If I could sum up my feelings about the film, it's that there was too much flashy choreography and not enough heart. This is an issue both with the original source material and with Ryan Murphy's adaptation of it, and there are problems in this because of casting and because of the plot in general. So this is a show about 4 jaded Broadway actors who are trying to look for a cause they can participate in as activists to repair their image. They are considered by many in the community and by the reviewers of Broadway theatre to be self-absorbed and selfish, terrible people. Which they kind of are. They find out about Emma, this girl whose prom has been cancelled, all because she wanted to bring her girlfriend to prom. I say the show is about them and the film is about them because it is. Sadly, it's not about these 2 girls. They are incidental to the plot. It should be a story about Emma and her girlfriend Alyssa, but it's not. It's about the 4 Broadway actors and it's told through their perspective, which is strange. It makes more sense when it's in a theatre because it's seeing it from a theatrical perspective, and it makes sense for that audience who loves theatre to view it from that way, and they're learning with the stars and they're seeing this world and they're seeing Emma's story through their gaze. In a film, it's sort of weird. It's strange that we're meeting Emma's story after the fact, that we get told about things that have happened in her past and we never got to see them meet. The usual elements of a young teen LGBT love story are not present in this. And Ryan Murphy does very little to change the plot of this. What he does do is adds in a reconciliation for James Corden's character, Barry Glickman, with his mother. This is a character who was alienated from his parents at a young age after coming out because they did not react to it well, and he hasn't attempted to make contact with them since. In the film, Meryl Streep calls his mother up on his behalf because she's hoping to force a reconciliation. His mother comes and finds him at the school and then they tearfully reconcile. The issue with this is it ties it up in a very neat bow that does not always exist for LGBT people in Middle America or in many places in the world. This is my issue with a lot of this film, is it really sanitizes the experience of being an LGBT teen in Middle America, in a place like Indiana. As soon as we meet Emma's character, she's smiling. The next time we meet her, she sings a song called Breathe, which is about her trying to cope with people at school getting angry at her because the prom got cancelled, and that sort of she's already had to move out of her parents' house and she's been rejected and she's facing all of this trauma and angst. and she smiles throughout the entire song. There's a lyric in the end of the song when she says, "Look at this crazy state you're in," while smiling. And I'm like, what crazy state are you in? Just like, are you elated? What is happening here? I think Jo Ellen Pellman has an incredibly expressive face and a beautiful voice and is a very good actress as Emma, but she just wouldn't stop smiling. I don't understand. And I've met enough LGBT teens going through difficult experiences in secondary schools and colleges. I've been an LGBT teen going through a difficult experience in secondary school, and I did not do that much smiling. Everything I've seen from the Broadway version of The Prom captures this a lot better for Emma's character than is shown in the film. Emma's character is both sidelined, and then when we do meet her, she's sort of strangely directed, I can only assume, because she seems happy about everything that happens to her. We find out that she's literally been kicked out by her parents after she came out, and this doesn't seem to faze her. The film really shies away from some of the harder moments of growing up gay in Middle America. Then you have Alyssa Greene, who is played by Ariana DeBose, who gives a fantastic performance, but we don't get to see much about this character. We don't get an awful lot of her story. What we do get is a lovely coming out scene to her mother, who doesn't know how to handle it, but then immediately changes her mind and comes back. Everything is so neatly tied up with a bow for all of these LGBT characters. Like, everything's going to be fine for them. The mean kids like them in the end, because Andrew Rannells spends literally 2 minutes telling them about the Bible, and they're like, oh, we're convinced. It's a beautiful depiction of the world the way it should be, but it's just not realistic. I want to talk about the rest of the cast I haven't mentioned yet in order. So you've got Meryl Streep, who plays Dee Dee Allen. She steps into incredibly big shoes from Beth Leavel, who was beloved in the original Broadway production. Streep at this point is doing more and more movie musicals after she did Mamma Mia, and then Mamma Mia 2 as a ABBA ghost, Into the Woods as the witch, and then Mary Poppins Returns as the upside-down Russian lady, Cousin Topsy. At this point, Streep is becoming best known for doing musicals in the latter part of her career. But her casting here as a veteran Broadway diva is so obvious, it's almost mundane. This is not my favourite Meryl Streep performance. It's not even my favourite Meryl Streep movie musical performance. Part of that is I find her character just so wildly unlikable. The other part is she's sharing most of her scenes with James Corden, who is not really up to par with her on an acting scale. It's like tennis. If you play with an inferior opponent, your game is going to suffer. I enjoy her vocals, I enjoy her choreography, but she doesn't connect to the songs or the material with the same passion that Beth Leavel did. Dee Dee's defining moment is when she performs The Lady's Improving, which is one of her big songs of her career for Keegan-Michael Key's character to win him over and convince him that she's not a terrible person. And she performs it in his office. And in the film, it has lots of cutaways to this old generic style Broadway musical number. First of all, I love how every time we reference just like musical theatre in something, it's a woman in a sparkly outfit with chorus boys all around her on like a gold set, and they're all wearing tuxes. What show actually has that? Yes, you have numbers with leading ladies and chorus boys around them, but they're never normally dressed like that. In Anything Goes, they're sailors. In Mame, they're dressed for a hunt. In Hello Dolly, they're waiters. And unfortunately, the way that the scene is shot in his office, it's more about the choreography and how she's jumping over the desk and cutting back to what she did in the original production, and she's up on the table. It's not enough of her face and her heart and her soul. When Beth Leavel did this number on stage, it was not a lot of flashy choreography. It was her standing there emoting and holding a damn note for 30 seconds at the end. Moving on to James Corden as Barry Glickman. Now, I've made another video talking about this and the backlash that has been to his casting. I don't hate him in this film. I just think that he's not well equipped either to be opposite Meryl Streep or to tell the story of a gay man who was kicked out of home and has internalized a lot of that homophobia with self-disgust. I just don't think he knows enough of what that means, and he can't possibly. It's not his fault. The other two of the main quartet of Broadway stars are played by Nicole Kidman and Andrew Rannells. These two are fantastic. Now, Nicole Kidman obviously is not a veteran Broadway dancer, so when she does all of her leg extensions and things, her knee is a little popped, it's not a straight leg. She's not the best at doing the Fosse choreography, as she wouldn't be. I like the character voice that she does, very Anne Ranking. I like the way that she connects with Emma's character. I think she's an incredibly endearing presence in the film. I really enjoy her in this. Andrew Rannells, thank goodness for Andrew Rannells, because he gives us some amazing comedy moments. He gives us this brilliant characterization as Trent. He gives us some of the best musical numbers as well. Love Thy Neighbour in the shopping centre when he jumps into the fountain and is belting these high notes, and the kids are doing street choreography, which, by the way, why do all of the popular people at this school all know how to break dance? What is that about? There is far too much breakdancing in this film. But I love Andrew in this. I think he really gives it that authentic Broadway pizzazz, as does Ariana DeBose as Alyssa Greene. She has an amazing voice and she really delivers well on that. I like Kerry Washington as her mother, although I do find her characterization a little bit one note. We don't really see her getting more and more frustrated as things aren't going her way and then getting relieved. She sort of just exists on this one angry level the entire time until the end. The end scene, the last scene with her and her daughter, is beautifully played. I do really enjoy that. One of the most heartfelt moments of the show and the film is when Emma posts a video online of her singing the song Unruly Heart, which is about her experience of growing up, discovering that she was a lesbian, connecting with other LGBT youth online who share the same anxieties and feelings. This is a beautiful song that does not need all of the flash it's given it in the movie. It becomes this strange thing where she's spinning and then they're all spinning and it cuts away to different people. I like that it features a lot of different LGBT youth and a broad spectrum of the LGBT community and gender non-conforming people as well. But I just don't like the spinning. It made me dizzy and I didn't want to be dizzy. So in general, I enjoyed The Prom on Netflix. I would watch it again. I was expecting more from Ryan Murphy just because Glee gave us such great emotional moments. He really knew when to just hold it with a camera, stay on that person and let them deliver a swan song. Also the group choreography numbers on Glee. There have been so many musical numbers performed around high school corridors that you would have thought that he'd be the perfect person to direct The Prom. And yet cut to these musical numbers that are falling flat and not really working for me. To sum up, I mostly enjoyed the cast. I thought they were all talented enough, if slightly lacking in heart. And I think the whole film was slightly lacking in heart. Lots of flash, lots of choreography, lots of great costuming, not enough heart. And from the marketing to the direction to the casting, not enough consideration was given that this is meant to be a story about a young lesbian couple. If you have seen The Prom already on Netflix, let me know what you thought about the casting, about the direction, about the film in general. I would love to hear your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe to my channel where I have posted lots more content about The Prom on Netflix, as well as all sorts of other stagey topics. I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day.
For 10 more seconds, I'm Mickey Joe Theatre. Oh my god, hey, thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!